Y'all ready for this? Bom, bom, bom.
All right, time's up.
Let's do this.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 143 of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, as always, Nate Wolf. It is great to be back on this beautiful Friday evening, joining you from Orange County, California. It has been a wonderful day. The weather is great. I'm joined by two of my favorite people tonight. Hydralisk, welcome back. How you doing?
Doing awesome, Nate. You know, last week I said it's very rare that I say the week flew by because normally it's just absolutely awful, but it happened again. It completely flew by. It feels like only a day or two ago we did the show, and I'm happy to be back. When that happens, it's great news. So happy to be here. Got a bunch of cool new stuff to talk about tonight. So stoked.
Right? Yeah, we got a special guest joining us tonight. It's been a little bit, but one of my very good friends, Blutrane. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. Contrary to Hydra, this week did not fly by, but we made it. I'm glad it's over. Fine, just, long week. I have to say, Nate, after trying to match you in doing intros for our unofficial sister program, I'm in awe how polished you are at navigating the introduction and moving it along. So kudos, well done.
Oh, I appreciate it. The key is to I had it written down and I just kept reading it for long enough that I just memorized it. Now I can just say it. I had to stop saying sunny Southern California because I kept messing it up, so I just switched it. But
it's a lot of S's.
It's too many.
I'm also jealous of that because Hydra and I in the great north of British Columbia, we had a nice sunny day today, but it's been a pretty rainy, dreary, kind of in like the low 40s type of weather.
Ew.
So
sunny and cold is
Today was the first sunny day in a long time. It was strange when I saw the sun, to be honest.
Yeah, I've forgotten what it was like.
We had this when I was in Portland. There was a newspaper article. It was like, Portlanders claim to see strange glowing orb in the sky. What is it? It was like, it's the sun.
You know what the thing is that after two consecutive days of sun, I'm over it. So I'm naturally adapted and evolved to the Pacific Northwest weather systems, whether I want to admit it or not. So
yeah, you get used to it after a while, and I don't know, like what used to feel really cold to me, it doesn't feel as cold after a while.
Yeah, well, you may struggle with the sunny Southern California, and I quite often struggle with absorbing via osmosis. So let's see how that one goes. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. Let me briefly explain how this show works. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs, and the video version of this podcast is then posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all podcast apps wherever you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today. Thank you. Yes, you.
All right. Hey, you did it. I'm so proud.
Not to be outdone by that intro, that segue, Hydra. It's almost like you guys have been doing this for a while.
Right?
Yeah.
So I finally posted all the shows last night. 3 weeks worth of shows.
Are you more or less settled, Nate? We haven't chatted in a while.
Yes.
So you got a different background there,
Yeah, so I've got an office now. I've got the computer set up. I was telling these guys, before I had 3 monitors set up at the desk, but it's super wide, and I can see 2 monitors is almost better because you can have them kind of, I don't know, bumped up against each other and angled, and it works fine. But I like having the third one, especially when podcasting, because you can put up OBS or Twitch or whatever off to the side. But then I can't see them as well. We had this extra TV that wasn't being used, and so I plugged the giant TV into the computer instead of the instead of the monitor. So I got this like 42-inch TV up on my desk that I'm using as a monitor. And the thought was like, hey, this is great. Like I could see stuff, but the resolution, like it's not scaling properly. And so everything is just really big, but like I'm kind of old, and so I can actually read everything. It's great.
So I have about the same size monitor. It's not a TV, it's a monitor, and it's at 4K.
Nice.
And I can, I mean, I have a hard time seeing, but you may want to consider, you know, they're not that expensive anymore. So you can get a decent sized 4K monitor, and you've got a powerful enough computer that it won't have any issues with that resolution. When I plug in my work laptop and render at 4K, that thing chugs. But you got a nice desktop. I mean,
Yeah, I'll have to
should be
check
more
it
than
out.
fine.
I wasn't like I wasn't planning on buying anything new, but we had the extra TV that wasn't like it was in my kid's room, and there's just no room for it. I was like, well,
Right.
let me try it out. It works okay. The other issue that I'm having, so like I got the new microphone, I got everything set up really late last night. My priority was to get the shows posted because like we've been moving, and so I was between things and I didn't have good internet. Um, it's so funky here where my internet speed now it's amazing. It's super fast, but it the problem is when the guy came to set it up, like the only place to set up the internet box is in the living room, which is way down the hall. And I'd wanted it in here in the office, and it just like it's the cable in here only works for satellite TV, which we don't even have. And so they had to set it up down the hall. And so I tried it on Wi-Fi, and like the Wi-Fi is just super slow. And I think the Wi-Fi works great on like the iPad and the phones and stuff. But I think that these desktops just are not built for Wi-Fi very well. And so I've got like a super long Ethernet cable running all the way from the living room down the hall, around the corner, and looped back around into the office. So in both my kids' room and the office here, like they had the cable running through the attic through for cable TV, but we don't have cable TV, and like I'm not going to pay for satellite. Um, and what we ended up doing as my project for the weekend, we bought 200-foot long Ethernet cable, and I'm going to run it through the attic
Nice.
and pull out the satellite TV cable and swap it for Ethernet cable.
Don't let my kid listen to this episode. He's been trying to convince me to do that exact same thing because he wants the Ethernet cable run to his room.
Well, and I wouldn't do it if there wasn't already like a hole with the cable running out of it, but there is, and so I'm gonna just pull that cable out and plop this one in. I'm really not looking forward to it because my attic is like it's like 3 feet tall, and so I'm gonna be on my hands and knees for a couple hours doing this, and it's gonna be awful. But having the cable like run down the hallway is not a good solution, and
No.
trying to run everything on Wi-Fi is definitely not a solution.
So funny enough, I can't do what you're doing, Nate, because I live in a condo and I have a homeowners association that I need to keep placated.
I do too, but they don't know about this.
Well, I don't have an attic. Like it's like a concrete building, so
Oh.
like I'd have to like do some major like drilling to make it happen. So I called up our ISP and I'm like, hey, I'd like to get a second, you know, modem so I could
Yeah.
run Ethernet in the other room. We have like a cable jack and everything, and they're like, nope, one box per account. We can set you up with a second account. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for 2 accounts.
What?
Because we have enough space now to have 2 setups, and I wanted, you know, my wife to have one as well. So what I did was I got a Wi-Fi repeater and this like kind of super crazy looking antenna thing, and we hooked it into the other desktop. And I was like, look, we'll try it out. If it's no good, we can return it, and then I'll figure something else out. But we've been really impressed with it. It feels almost as good as having a wired connection. We've got it on. It's not on G. I think it's on N or like some kind of N derivative. Like it's
Yeah.
fast, it's stable, and
we have one of those actually. It's by Amazon. It's called Eros.
There's good
And it's
ones
like
and there's bad ones. I know that for sure.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of funky, and
this one's good. I don't know. So I don't know if it's a technical limitation, Hydra, or maybe just you kind of want to limit access because, you know, work life play balance. But I can show you my setup.
Yeah, I'd like to
Maybe
see that one.
might be a compromise to try. Yeah. Anyways, so
Cool.
but I obviously I'd do it the way you do it, Nate, if I had an option to. But
Yeah, I mean, so we've got an HOA and stuff, but I've already got an attic, so we share a wall, but it's like the kitchen wall, and so I don't have to drill into that or do anything funky. It's just
you like doing it like an office, like with the Ethernet drops from the ceiling, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's I don't know, you probably can't see. It's just back. It's up in that corner there, so I'm gonna have to run it down the wall and then across the down the baseboards around the room. Just super janky, but like it's better than the alternative. And I bought the white cable because the floorboards or the baseboard is white, and so hopefully you can't see it too much.
Look at you, color coordinating.
I'm trying. This is like
Very
I don't,
impressive.
dude. I don't want to ever move again. This was just such the nightmare move. It's been like a crazy few weeks, and and then it's budget season right now at work. Work is busy, and like I never want to move again. It's awful.
I hear you. When people ask how you bought a home in the greater Vancouver area, what are you, nuts? I'm like, no, I just don't ever want to move again.
Yeah, right.
That was my motivation, like it's once you pass a certain age, like it becomes increasingly difficult to do. It's a very physical thing. And
So
even when you
here's-
hire people to do it, there are things that you need to still do yourself. And it's for those of us out of shape and old.
Oh, dude. So we were gonna hire movers because we hired movers when we moved from Oregon to California, and it was expensive, but it was great. And then like I was gonna hire movers this time, and my mom was like, "Don't hire movers. We get some friends to help, but don't hire movers. You should save the money." I was like, "Okay, fine." But like I I had to do so much of it myself, and like was trying to be careful because I had that hernia surgery and I don't want to like mess anything up. Anyways, it was fine, but it was just I don't want to do it again. It really is kind of what happened. And then we had this treadmill, this giant treadmill that we had in the garage previously.
Those are the worst. They're so heavy.
Well, so it's really heavy, and it's not that bad because if you tip it back, it's got wheels on the back and you can like roll it. But the problem is that it's wider than the hallway like passage. And so I went to go put it back here and it like wouldn't fit through the hallway. And so it sat in the living room for a week and it was like, well, this has to get out of here. And we moved this thing from Oregon to storage to my, back to here, like, and it was expensive. I don't want to sell it. So essentially had to like take the arms off of it, but the wiring like run through the arms and down into it. And so without disassembling like the entire thing, I had to take the arms off of it, but then it only had like about 6 to 8 inches of cable. And so you had to like hold it all funky and then push the thing down the hallway. It was like the whole move-in is just, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, it's like, it's so brutal.
I made that mistake with the treadmill. So I bought one from Costco and I bought like the biggest, bulkiest, best treadmill they had. And I put it in my basement because I was like, I'm never moving. I was going to stay in my basement. And then I moved. And getting that thing out of the basement was insanely brutal. Same thing, didn't fit through the door because I put it together in the room that I put it in. And then getting it up the stairs and out of the house was the worst thing I've ever done.
Right? Okay. Well, you're in good company. Anyways, this is the moving podcast. Yeah. Well, I did want to say a big thank you to Shokunin, the executive producer of our show, also to Armorn and our other patrons. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And we have some new merch that should be out soon. The artwork was finished over this past week. I just have to finalize it with the artist, but you guys have seen the previews. I think it looks really cool, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's really
finally
fun.
Gonna get Born to Be Wild merch.
Yeah, we have some. There's some up on our website. We've got a bunch.
No, I meant me.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. It's Death Knights, and they turn out really good actually. Yeah. Pretty happy with how it all came out.
I'm past due.
But yeah, if you are watching or listening or whatever to the show and you're interested in supporting, there's a few ways that you can do it. Some are free, some are not. The free ways you can like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. That helps. You can leave comments on the podcast apps or whatever, and that helps. If you are someone that uses Twitch a lot, we do have some emotes that you can unlock. Some are free that you get just by following. Some you can get if you subscribe to us, which coincidentally is also free if you have Amazon Prime. Otherwise, you can pay. We do have a Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And yeah, we got some merch and some other stuff on our website, borntobewildhs.com, if you want to check it out. Lastly, we do have a Discord channel. It's free. It's just an online community of friends that we've made all across the world hanging out. And we share news, like especially like we got some new stuff today, and it's always posted there. New cards, we share deck lists and funny usernames and stuff, and just chit chat some real life stuff. So, looking at my iPad is not synced up with Discord right now, and so I've been playing mostly on iPad because my computer hasn't been set up. So all my cool screenshots are there, but Lee Acer posted some, thankfully. So this episode is dedicated to my mom and to Tony Stank. That's great. Yeah, there's some good ones. I've got some good ones saved up. I gotta get my my stuff all worked out. And hopefully I can post some more. But anyways, yeah. I'm excited to kind of be back in the saddle and getting everything set up. So this weekend, the goal is like I got the camera set up, I got the new microphone set up, but of course it's not working. And there's so many things installed on here that they're all conflicting with each other. And so I backed a bunch of stuff up last night. I'm gonna go through it hopefully tonight or tomorrow and try to do the rest and just do like a full clean sweep and reinstall stuff from scratch and
Full format.
yeah.
I know it's probably been a long time since you've done it, Nate. You remember a couple months ago my hard drive died and I had to get a new one, right? It is so much easier than it used to be. It takes like 10 minutes to install Windows 10. Like 99% of the drivers are auto loaded. I think you're gonna be in for a pleasant surprise.
It's the I did it maybe maybe a year ago, and it wasn't that bad. The important thing is making sure that you have everything backed up. And so like I've got all these Photoshop files and I've got work stuff and we've got photos, and I just want to make sure that I don't lose anything. But there's a bunch of like hardware conflicts and stuff right now that I am getting frustrated with, and then things start not working correctly, and it's like, you know what, it's just cleaner. And then when you do that, it's nice and fresh and everything works.
Yeah.
And so anyways, that's the plan, and hopefully that resolves some of the issues, and then I can get all organized, and then I can get the microphone. Like, so the new mic, it's a Shure SM7B. Like, it's a crazy good microphone. This is
a studio quality microphone you've got.
Oh yeah. Yes. And oh gosh, I finally got around to posting the last few weeks' episodes, and I was listening to them, and like I sound like I was in a tin can. And
I wasn't that bad. I mean, obviously it's not as good as it sounds right now. But I mean, considering that you were basically like mobile wolf, like it was fine. Don't be too hard on yourself.
I just want to be like, I just want things to get back to normal is really what I want, and they're getting there slowly but surely.
I mean, when you go from like a high quality mic just down to like your AirPods or whatever, you're gonna notice the difference, but it wasn't that bad.
Well, and I think I just got comfortable, right? Because I had all my stuff set up in my office, and it was really comfortable. I've got my stuff here. It's set up. I got my chair. I got my artwork up on the walls, and everything's cool. And now we're all in boxes and stuff, and we're getting there. My wife has done an amazing job at unpacking and organizing. And I was at work yesterday, and I came home, and she had like cleaned out the whole office, and everything was all organized and labeled and ziplocked and put away. It was wonderful. So we're getting there, and now that it's the weekend, I should be able to do some more of that and hopefully try to round things out. But anyways, to kind of run that into big, I barely have played Hearthstone, unfortunately. Like we talked about it last week. Like I finished up my heroic brawl run. I think I ended up at 7 wins, and I just did the one, and it was like, all right, cool. I had a bunch of packs, and I got some gold, and I got the portrait, and I was happy that I just had to do the one. And aside from that, like last night, I was so frustrated. This was the first time in like literally years that I had a daily quest. Like I lost a daily quest because I didn't get to them in time. I was gonna try to do it before midnight, and then I got busy working on stuff, and then it rolled over, and I was like, no, lost
It's
my
a bad feeling. It's so weird.
I haven't had that happen in like literally like years. And
You broke the streak.
Yeah, well, at least I've still hit legend, although I haven't done it this month yet. I could not buy a win. I mean, I've only been playing janky Death Knight decks, so there's that. But like, I've not been doing very good in Hearthstone this season. Blutrane, I fell back to 10 because we were moving, right, and I haven't been able to play like I normally would. So I lost my 11x and I fell back to 10, and the meta is so bad. It's so bad. Like every deck is like a janky Reno LPG mage, and then a janky Reno even priest, and like all it's just the weirdest, terrible, greedy stuff.
Oh no.
It's and so I don't know. I just like I'll get there. I'll get there. It's fine.
So I'm kind of a bit dismayed to hear you say this because full disclosure, I'm on Hearthstone break. I've taken a few weeks off. I haven't hit legend this month. I didn't hit legend last month. But
still have my 11x.
I haven't checked. You want me to check? We'll do a big reveal for the show. I'll log in. We'll see what it is.
Well, yes, do
all right, we'll do it.
Because it's so weird how that works sometimes. Like, who gets to keep it and who doesn't.
But so when I come back, I kind of was like, I'm gonna be at 10x, and I'm gonna stay at 10x because I just, I think that part of the problem that I have, like, it's not Hearthstone, it's me. It's not you, it's me, right? So, you kind of develop this toxic relationship with ladder systems, and it becomes like a rat race on the ladder. And I just want to have fun playing the game, and I've done the best I can, and I've got nothing to prove. Not the best, not the worst, respectable. So I figured I'll do the 10x thing and not worry about it. And and now you're telling me, oh, Blue, it's just the worst. I'm like, no.
You know what though? What it is here it is. It's fine. It's fine. I think what it is when I was doing the 11x grind, I was seeing the tryhard decks, and it's fine because I know them like back and front. I know how to play against them, and I know what I'm looking for, and it's fine. It's a bunch of people just like me that are tryharding. And when I fell back, I don't know what I'm seeing anymore. And that's part of the problem is like, how do you play around a really weird, funky deck that has a bunch of cards that shouldn't be in it? And you can't. And so I don't know. You either play super aggro and try to like blaze through it, or you try to be even more greedy. I don't know. But like the lists were so greedy that I was trying. I tried some aggro stuff, and I just like I kept getting. Oh, here's a Neptulon on turn 3. Oh, here's a Reno Jackson. Oh, here's a heal back to 40. Oh, here's a whatever it was, and it's fine. I'm happy to be kind of back in my element and play on the computer and kind of take my time and try to do it relaxed. I think instead of I don't know. You ever like you said I think the rat race, like when you treat it as like a job, it sort of loses some of that fun. And I want to be able to just take the time to kind of enjoy it. And I'm not in a rush. I don't want to lose the streak. Like I've hit legend every month for like years now, and I don't want to lose that. But I'm also not in a rush to do it either. And so I'll get around to it. There's still lots of time this month.
And I think that I'll be the better for it because I've been playing Snap, and it hasn't been out for that long, but I already saw the same kind of patterns and frustrations emerging. Mm-hmm. And it kind of dawned on me that like, wait a minute, it's my relationship to the game that's creating these situations, not the game itself. And that's not to say there aren't things with all games that I play that I'd like to see done differently or better. We all have opinions. We're human beings on the internet, but after some self-reflection, I think that when I re-engage with Hearthstone, and obviously, I was thinking rotation, although this mini set's looking pretty spicy, and we're going to talk about that. I think a different mindset and approach will mean that I will get more enjoyment out of it, and that's what it is at the end of the day, right? It's a game, and it's supposed to be fun. And as a content creator for Snap, his name's Educated Collins. He used to play Hearthstone. I think he still does. He had a video, and it was really authentic, and it was nothing to do with Snap. It was about people's anxieties about hitting certain ranks on ladder in Snap. You could apply this to Hearthstone or any ranked video game. And it really, I was already thinking about these things, and that, Nate, we talked about it quite a bit. But it really was kind of the final nail in the coffin that I need to change how I approach and think about games if I'm going to maximize my enjoyment. And I think maximizing one's rank will maximize enjoyment for some people. But I think for others, such as myself, it will actually have an inverse relationship to that, and that's okay. It's fine. I think that we all need to have our own goals, and and doesn't necessarily always have to be chasing that thing. Although that said, after what you said about 10x, I might have a different motivation for hitting 11, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Assuming I lost it, I might log in and still have it. But the problem is, if I log in, I still have it. I'll probably lose it next one. But anyways, it's fine.
Yeah.
There's no shot that I still have it. I'll be stunned.
No, you know what? I lost it. I was at rank. I was right around 600, 650, and I lost it, which was like, really?
Yeah, because there's a lot more players now, so there's a lot more slack. Yeah.
Maybe you'll be forgiven for not playing like at all.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll do the big reveal. I'm excited now.
Yeah, right. So Sheep is doing well. I've talked to Sheep quite often. I believe Sheep will be back next week. Schmoopy Daddy, unfortunately, is sick. But he had some notes in here, so I just want to go through them real quick. He says, I know 3 things about my illness. It's not COVID, it's not the flu, and it gives you 104 fevers and congestion for 5 days straight. That's awful. So hopefully he feels better soon. He says, I got to a point in Wild where I ran out of aggro bots to smash with Blood DK. So to Standard, I went for more DK wins. I hit Legend and Standard with Frost DK in what was one of the most error-filled climbs I've ever seen. When I swapped back to Wild, I decided to sink or swim. I was going to have fun, so I queued up Unusual Decks 24 from Reddit. I replaced all my wild decks with these bad boys, and I made bets with friends. I'm rank 177. How many ranks do I lose? Worst comes to worst, I continue achievement hunting. He says he went 11-5, climbed to rank 104. Since then, it yo-yoed around 150, but still respectable considering the jank that he's playing. Jeez. Well, look at that. You could play terrible decks and climb to top 100.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but apparently that's not just a meme or a joke. There's people putting words to deeds and accomplishing just that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, let me pass over to you guys. Blue, how was your week? And then I'll go over to Hydra.
It was good. Like I said, been doing a lot of self-reflecting upon gaming, and I've been keeping a close eye on the reveals for the new mini set. It's funny because nostalgia really is a personal thing. I think I might have said this on an earlier episode when they revealed the new expansion, the new class. I was kind of maybe a little fatigued. Death Knight again, like we kind of already saw this. I don't know how hyped I am for that. And then they're like, we're going back to Naxxramas for the mini set. I'm like, yes, Naxxramas. So, it's funny how one's like, oh, not again. The other's like super exciting. It was really when my engagement with Hearthstone really kind of started to uptick a lot, and I started playing the game a lot. And, just seeing some of the familiar characters and the new takes on things is kind of piquing my interest. So it was nice to be have my interest piqued by Hearthstone. It was a nice distraction from otherwise a difficult week. I mentioned earlier it was a tough week, as everyone knows. In the workplace, we went from quiet quitting and like the employee is king to like everyone's laying people off, and no workplace is immune. And so fortunately for me, I made it through okay. But a lot of people were impacted that I've known for many years, and it's always hard to see that. So happy that the week's behind me. Onwards and upwards. Looking forward to more positive thoughts and days ahead.
Well, glad you made it through.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, right. Oh, geez. Yeah, that'd be a little bit scary.
I mean, you always kind of have to plan for situations like this, but I'm relieved that I didn't have to break the glass in case of emergency. So
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
we're good. I count myself very fortunate. So I think that really it's been a time for a lot of self-reflection, not just in the gaming world, and taking stock and being grateful for the blessings that we have in our life, and just it's humbling. And so I'm just trying to. I'm not generally a positive person. So I'm trying to focus on the good and buck the trend.
Nice. All right, Hydra, what have you been up to?
Well, you mentioned that you had seen what 10x can be like. You forgot, I guess, right? Well, welcome back. So I saw a tweet. I was struggling with what I should play, kind of bored, not sure what I was going to do. And our good friend Taylor, aka Dr. Evil, had tweeted out, I'm just going to read what she had posted. Decided to take an unpopular class and craft my own list to prove a point that you don't need to play even Shaman to hit Legend. 66% win rate over 45 games with 10x. Beats Pirate Rogue and even Shaman. And that was most of my matchups. This is Reno Renathal Warrior.
Is it even Warrior or is it
No.
Oh, it's Reno Renathal Warrior. Wow. Okay.
I put the list up here. There's some dragon synergy, and it's got it's greedy at the end with DQA. It's got Deathwing Mad Aspect, and it's got it's like full of tech with Dirty Rat, Mutanus, that sort of stuff. The 4/5 or is it 4/6? The one that discards a spell from your opponent's hand.
Oh yeah.
It's fun. So I'm so close to 1K wins with Warrior, and I haven't played the class in a while because there's nothing good in Wild for it unless you want to play some risky skipper shenanigans.
Dr. Evil's characterization of an unpopular class was a kind one.
Yeah. So like I need to get, at this point I think it's like 22 wins or something left.
Oh, you're so close.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? This is a good excuse to play that. And Taylor's always so good at just making her own decks and hitting Legend with them. This isn't the first time she's proved this point. We've seen time and time again. It's what she does. And so I said, hey, why not? I see Pirate Rogue all the time. I see even Shaman all the time. So let's feast on those decks. Guess what? I seen almost none of them.
Oh no!
What the heck? But
they all hit Legend. They hit Legend
already. I don't have my stats, but I'm around like 60% with it.
Yeah, it's not
pretty
bad.
good.
I don't know if this is a good matchup or because by the skin of my teeth, I've been beating all the secret mages with this because they end up just playing their free 5/5s and 6/6s and stuff. You can clear the board. You just have to play around their secrets, and you don't have a lot of minions that you can just waste on objection, unfortunately, which is a problem. You need a lot of these spells, so I don't know. You have to figure out which ones you don't want because you know that you're going to proc them. But I didn't lose to a single secret mage. It's like 4 or 5-0, something like that. And most of the time they get me close, and then they run out of gas and I start at that point, gaining more armor or drawing Reno, like a champ, just in time. But yeah, the Seeker Mage is what I've been preying on with this, to be honest. And
Nice.
like I said, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be favorable or not, but it's been working out in my favor. I didn't see a single even shaman in, I don't know, let's say 20 games or so, which was strange. There was a couple pirate rogues, but it was a lot of fun because it's just reactionary, right? You let them fill their board, let them, think they're winning, and then destroy their hopes and dreams. And yeah, it's fun because and it's not even really that stressful. It's quite relaxing. Mill Druid, very annoying to play against with this. Did not work out so well.
Is that a common deck?
I
can't imagine it is. It is?
Multiple Mill Druids, yeah. In
Mill Druid?
Mill Druid. Yeah. And they go
I guess
infinite.
it's running due process and
Jades. Yeah.
Yeah, they go infinite with the Jades and they mill the heck out of you. Like
they play the one that says your next spell plays twice, whatever, Solar Eclipse or whatever it's called.
Yep.
And then
Lunar.
they play that
into Solar.
And then they play it into due process, and so both of you are just drawing a ton, but then they start playing Jade Idols. Yeah. So they don't care. I've ran into several of them, and like I've not been able to win those matchups either.
I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret. I loathe mill decks. Like when Mill Rogue was a thing, it upset me. Hearing this, it's kind of getting my fists clenched when I play Magic the Gathering. People in Magic the Gathering love their mill decks. They force them, and every time I beat them, it feels so good.
Oh, it feels great. I'm not having that success though, especially with the control deck. It's not going to happen.
No, yeah, they feast on you. That's crazy that your experience is so different. I time of the month really matters, I think.
Yeah, no, it does, and
yeah, because that's a very good point, because I did not. So last month, I like day one got to like Diamond 3 or something like that, right? This month, the first couple days I didn't play at all, and then maybe like 2 or 3 days ago I started playing this, and so I guess coming in late maybe is the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't help because all the aggro decks like are already in Legend. And so last week on the show we talked to Robot Killer, who played a Blood Death Knight to Legend, Wild Legend on all 3 servers on like day 1, day 2. And was like, oh, this is amazing, and I need Death Knight wins, and I love Blood, and let me try this out. And I went like 0-10 with it. And it's just like, if you hit like the Pirate Rogue, you win. If you hit the Even Shaman, you win. But like all the funky, control-y Reno style decks, like it's a toss-up, right? When you're playing a more value-oriented, slower deck. And so it just depends, right? But it's a meta call, and so first day of the month when you're seeing a bunch of aggro, or like when you hit the Diamond 5 floor, like great, switch to it because maybe it'd be more favorable. But anyways, yeah, I need Death Knight wins, and I love Blood, so probably will keep playing it anyways. But yeah, that was fun. Anyways, we got some news, right? So
you mean
welcome to the news. The news is so good.
Calm blue ocean, calm blue ocean, calm blue ocean. Serenity now.
Hey, Nax out. So right. That's fun.
Yeah. No, I'm super stoked. Like Blutrane said, I think them returning back to Naxxramas is a pretty cool idea. A lot of us have been playing the game for a really long time, so that's a way to get your like senior player base like super stoked, because that was such a huge thing, right? So
it's very nostalgic for sure, and it'll be interesting to see if they print like newer versions of older cards. Not that they're gonna do like, I'm not talking reprints, but like they'll take the same characters, right? Like already in the release art we see Thaddeus, who was Like when you play Stalag and Fugan and they both die, you get Thaddeus. And like now he's a legendary in the set. And so like maybe we'll see Lotheb, you know, everybody's favorite card. Or whatever.
Oh, a new Lotheb. I wonder that would be. Oh, they
But
have
like
to.
Naxxramas is really nostalgic for me because that's kind of when I started playing. It was like it was Naxxramas really because it was like right before Blackrock Mountain came out. And yeah, it's a good time. So they shared it a little bit early. Everything's been kind of a blur because of all the moving and stuff going on, but it comes out next week on Valentine's Day, the Tuesday the 14th. The Hearthstone mini set, it's called Return to Naxxramas, 38 brand new cards, new location and colossal minion, new dual type minions, and more. So the show notes, 38 new cards, including 4 legendaries, 1 epic, 17 rare, 16 commons. Here's the cool part. So, well, this is a little funky, right? So the normal versions can only be purchased in game for either 2,000 gold or 1,500 rune stones. No cash. You got to buy rune bucks.
Oh yeah.
But
Is that the first time that it's only available for runestones?
I believe so.
Okay.
But here's the cool part. So the golden version can be purchased for cash, so $69.99 US or 10,000 gold. So you can get the golden version for 10,000 gold, which is the first time that they've ever sold a mini set for gold.
Gold.
Golden mini set for gold.
Yeah.
They sold other mini sets for gold.
Oh, did they? I don't know. I always paid
regular ones. Yeah,
okay,
I think they did. I think they did.
This is the
That's
first
how I
time that
get
they've
them-
sold a golden mini set for gold. Yes.
Yeah. On my free to play accounts, I always spend the gold on it because I'm not obviously going to spend the money.
Yeah. The golden mini set comes with a bonus diamond legendary. Don't know who. I'm petitioning hard for Snow Flipper Penguin, but
that bums me out because I don't want to drop. I mean, this is $70.
You know, it's
US, so that's like 190 Canadian or something like that. So
it's more than that. The Canadian dollar is so bad right now. Oh my god.
Isn't it a coincidence how the heroic Brawliseum was last week and it cost 1,000 gold to participate and had an exclusive skin that you'd only get by participating in it, and then the week after is when you can get the golden mini set with gold after all your gold is gone.
All right, you know, they've done this before, not with the portrait. That's true. I will say this: after playing other card games during my Hearthstone break, it's very hard for me to take the Hearthstone's so expensive stuff, you know, because
Hearthstone is cheap compared to Marvel Snap.
Yeah, everything's relative. Well, but it's not just Snap. Magic the Gathering also not cheap either. You know, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that though. It clearly is a pretty transparent attempt to drain one's gold account prior to the mini set that's going to be available for gold. But I don't know.
Whatever.
I think we've been through this enough times that we shouldn't be shocked by it. Like it's
No.
always the same pattern, right? Like there's always like the mini set 1 month out before the new expansion, and 1 week before the mini set there's the brawl. The only thing I wish it was a wild brawl instead of a standard one. But
yeah, me too. You know what? I wouldn't have played it if it weren't for the skin that was attached to it. But it was like
you broke even. 7 wins is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty impressive.
No, it's true. It's true. And so I kind of broke even, and I got the skin, and I only had to do it once, and that made me happy. So
I ended up opting out actually because of how I've reassessed where my money goes to this game. It's really just in the cards for me at this point. So, like, yes, maybe I could have had a really good run in the brawl, and I could have got my value, my money's worth in cards, but that wasn't guaranteed. Yeah. So the skin, I already have lots of skins. So, and if I want to see the skin, I can see my opponent use it.
There whatever. You go. I did it with gold. I didn't pay money for it. I had the gold to do it because like I haven't spent any of it since this last expansion. Like I just kind of was banking it for the new set. So I didn't feel too bad about it. But anyways, yeah. So this expansion or this mini set rather has a couple of interesting things. We see the first location card for Death Knight, which seems quite good actually. So it's called Construct Quarter. 3 mana with 3 durability. It says destroy a friendly minion to summon a 4/5 undead with rush. There's already a card that does this, and it's really good. And to be able to do it 3 times, so you can use your hero power, and then use this on your little zombie dude that poops out. So like this seems good. This seems a 4/5 is nothing to balk at. I think that's pretty
With
good stats.
Rush.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just
this
a 4/5.
seems
That's awesome.
Odd costed.
Yeah, that's that will get it out of wild, I guess, but oh well. Card all in all seems good though. I'm glad they did it though, just because the rest of the classes have them. The one thing that's missing now at this point is like a hero card, but whatever. I'm not in a rush for that.
What would a Death Knight turn into? Turns into a pallet. Turns into a paladin.
Turns into a double Death Knight.
There you go.
He turned back into just like regular Arthas.
That's funny. That's funny.
It'd be like a flip hero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Apostate in chat. Yeah, you're right. This says destroy. This says destroy a friendly minion and summon a 4/5. So our existing card doesn't destroy. So this could trigger like a death rattle or something like that. It's just a friendly.
We get the corpse then because we've destroyed.
Yes. So and you'll see where this is going in a moment when we get to some of the legendaries. But first we see the first Colossal for Death Knight is Frost Queen Cindergosa, which makes sense, right? The iconic dragon. This is when we did the lore episode with Goliath. It's like, oh yeah, he's up, Arthur's up in Northrend. He sees this giant frozen dragon corpse under the ice, and he's like, I want that. Right? Like, I think I'll resurrect that and ride on it.
I think I will take it.
That's great. Yeah, this seems good. 7 mana, 6/6, Colossal +2. Each of the wings. Also, so Cindergosa says after an enemy minion is frozen, destroy it. And each of the wings is a 2/1 with rush that says freeze any character damaged by this minion. And so it's a 7 mana 6/6 that's going to destroy 2 minions. Like, wow, it seems quite impactful to me. Like some of the Colossals are better than others, but this one seems pretty good.
So this is 1 blood, 1 frost.
Yes.
To point out.
Oh yeah, I missed that. I'm glad you said that. Interesting.
Seems fun.
Seems pretty good.
It does seem good.
Picture. I love the art on all the Colossals. This one's
so cool.
This one's pretty up there with some of the others. It's funny you said no hero yet. You could wait on that, but I think that everyone was pretty antsy to see a Colossal for Death Knight. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that it's joined the party.
Yeah, me too. They had mentioned something about I don't have the quote here, so I don't want to misrepresent, but I think that there's an interesting design perspective here where because there's the 3 different factions or whatever you want to call them of Death Knight. The question I think was phrased to the devs like, hey, how are you going to promote this in the future in terms of cards so that they get support for the different the different play styles of Death Knight? And I think that's going to be a little bit of a struggle there because like how do you provide support to the different archetypes? Like I don't have a good answer. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But it made me think of it when Hydra pointed out that it was 1 blood and 1 frost. And yeah, I have no idea how they're gonna support this going forward. But I guess we'll see. Card looks good though. I mean,
yeah. Oh, it does. I just like seeing it. This same was with Demon Hunter, right? Like you're watching the class evolve over time, and because it doesn't, have as much as everything else. So it's really cool. Just the additions, all the things that we can possibly build in the future, the theory crafting. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I'll find the tweet. We can talk about it next week or whatever. Because it was interesting because I think that there's some design limitations, or I think rather than focusing on all three, like I'm gonna paraphrase, but we can talk about it some other time. But it was essentially like, hey, because you guys did the core set or the Path to Arthas or whatever, like the initial set was a little bit bigger so that each of the archetypes had support. Is Death Knight just going to be bigger each time? Like have more cards than the other classes? And they're like, yeah, no. It's just going to have 10 cards like it normally would. And they're like, well, how are you going to support the different archetypes? And I believe what they had said was something to the effect of like, well, rather than make like 3 mediocre, we'll probably push more support for maybe like 1 each expansion or something like that. Okay, don't know if I like that or not, but then again, I could be,
I mean,
misrepresenting that anyhow.
So I kind of had the same reaction. And
you know what I'm talking about? Am I paraphrasing that like
no.
semi-accurately,
But based on my understanding, you did. But I think that this makes a lot of sense because you think about an expansion. Each class gets a handful of cards, and so if they keep splitting between the 3 runes every expansion, it's just gonna never be impactful, right? It's kind of like, it reminds me of like when what was that? Karazhan came out. They printed cards like the man, my memory. Don't get old, guys. The imp, the discard imp, Malchezaar's imp,
Malchezaar's imp, yeah.
and excuse me, you're on fire. The 2/3 that deals 3
Medivh's
if you have a
Valet.
secret. Medivh's Valet, thank you. You think I like, wow, brain going. Like, those cards are ubiquitous staples today, but when they came out in Karazhan, they didn't really have decks to go into. They didn't see play. So if they print like a really awesome blood card, but it doesn't get any other support, you're not going to have a home for it. So I think it's a painful concession to make the releases impactful. So I think it'll probably be okay in practice. I think that if you're going to offer criticism, though, perhaps this whole like 3 rune stones kind of shtick, now you're seeing the disadvantage of it. I think there's other, frankly, areas where we could maybe critique it as well in terms of things being overly restrictive. It's almost like it's not a single class. It's like 3 classes with like some minor overlap, and now they've got to contend with that in the design space that is their expansions. So it makes sense, but then, on the one hand, it's defensible in a vacuum. But then when you take a step back, was this the right design decision? And I think that really, nobody knows, right? This is the initial launch for the class. We've only seen, its initial incarnation. You look at the last class they released, Demon Hunter, that went through a lot of evolutions, right? A lot of the popular archetypes weren't viable or even something that you would have considered on the Ashes of Outland release. So it really, pressure's on.
Yeah, I think you have a good point. And there's really, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how else you could do it without things getting kind of funky. So
you don't have the rune system. That's how. I try to criticize it, but like it does. It's like they released 3 classes in one, and now they're kind of saying, well, we're only going to release we're not going to release 3 times the cards for this class every expansion. So some trade-off has to be made, and it'll be interesting. I think that it could be a bummer. It could be really cool. It really, the devil's in the details, and it's going to be, like I said, it's a lot of pressure because this will be the first time that they're going to be showing it in action, and that's going to color our perception moving forward.
Yeah. Well, and as long as like, it'd be a bummer if they went an entire thing with like 0 support for a certain one, but like maybe less, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Does not like it really matters. I think we're going to be stuck with it whatever it is. So it'll be interesting. I guess we'll see. I can't find the tweet, by the way. I don't know if you said it anymore.
No, I don't remember where it was said, but it was said that they would be focusing on a certain discipline for expansion. Now it's not to say that they've changed their mind in the past, but I distinctly recall that being feedback shared.
So if you're a super fan of like the Frost archetype, you may not see Frost decks for half a year or more. Like, more stuff being in addition. which is kind of a bummer, right?
No, yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, this Colossal Dragon looks pretty rad. And I'm so glad because when Sindragosa came out, the initial card came out, I think it was in Knights of the Frozen Throne. It was the Mage Legendary. And it was just bad, right? You got the two
I saw a little playing standard, but yeah, it
it's a
didn't
little
age
bit.
well.
And you turned them into water elementals when you pinged your own guys.
You got to
Yeah.
that's true. And then they give you random legendary in your hand. And
just greedy fun card, not competitive.
People, Anyway, so then they were teasing a new way to win the game, right? This is what there's their tweet that came out this week. Oh, there's a new way to win the game. Okay. Oh god, here it comes. What is it? Well, it's the Four Horsemen return. So
and neutral this time.
Right? So throwback to Uther of the Ebon Blade here, which is the Death Knight from Frozen Throne for Paladin that had an Exodia list, right? If you manage to be able to get all 4 out at the same time, you win the game. So this works kind of the same way, but they're neutral. There's only one card that you play and then it generates the other one, right? So Rivendare, Baron Rivendare, it's called Rivendare War Rider, 6 mana, 6/6 undead, neutral, Death Rattle. Shuffle the other 3 horsemen into your deck. They pulled the card art from Battlegrounds, by the way, which is kind of funny. But
oh, no way.
And someone said that it was cheating. I'm like, you know what, though? They have so much great art that they really should kind of pass them back and forth. Like, if we could use...
I mean, they used Merc's art in Battlegrounds. They used constructed art. I mean, I agree with you. If the art's good, the art's good. Just
why would
if the art's good? Totally should.
Like, we've even asked for that. Like, BG's heroes that we like.
Oh, the Battlegrounds heroes are so good.
Like, give me that in constructed.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things worth complaining about. This is not one.
Artwork is not one of them. Yeah. No. Okay, so here's the other 3 horsemen. All right, one of you French speakers, help me out here.
Just because I'm from Canada doesn't mean I speak French.
Blutrane speaks French.
Blomo.
Blomo.
Like blow-mo, if you want to anglicize it.
Blomo. There we go.
Blomo. Oh no.
Blomo. Famine Rider.
Famine
you think
Rider,
the whole thing is it French? I mean, it could be Blaumox. I mean, what do you
Blumix?
Blaumox, you know?
Oh god. My mother-in-law used to call hors d'oeuvres ordiorvis. So there you go.
Did I when I first got this job, I've been at the same company for many years. This is in 2005. I went to Pennsylvania where one of the big offices were, and we went out to for dinner to steakhouse, and one of my colleagues got a filet mignon and a Cabernet Sauvignon, and I was like, man,
oh no,
like, look, I'm not a snob, but like, can you at least like not like, you know, please, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, that's really something.
I'll never forget that. I just politely nodded and smiled and
just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. So we have Blomo here.
I'm gonna laugh every time I hear you say that now.
The card is not even Baron Rivendare at this point. It's just Blomo. All 4 are called Blomo.
Yeah, but
family friendly show, guys. Come on.
Okay. This is another 6 mana 6/6 with lifesteal. It is undead. Yes. Death Rattle. If you had all 4 horsemen die this game, destroy the enemy hero. The next one is Korthaz, Death Rider, 6 mana 6/6 rush. Death Rattle. If you had all 4 horsemen die this game, destroy the enemy hero. And the final one is Zalik, Conquest Rider. 6 mana 6/6 taunt, Death Rattle. If you had all 4 horsemen die this game, destroy the enemy hero.
I didn't notice they all had a different keyword: lifesteal, rush, and taunt.
Yeah, so
That's
we're
cool.
already seeing like how do you draw all of these and play them and get them to die, right? And starting to see Theorycraft. Yeah.
Well, Nate, let me tell you how you play them, how you draw them all and play them all at the same time. Flarks, Boom Zuka.
Yeah.
Broken or a meme?
Six of one, half dozen of the other.
Is it gonna be broken or is it gonna blow Mo?
it's probably gonna blow Mo, but
I was thinking about this and I first saw that and I was like, oh boy, here we go again. And then I remembered, oh yeah, Hunter doesn't have any mana cheat or card draw of any real appreciable.
There's some more card draw recently.
It's a very targeted card draw though.
That's true.
It's not a beast. So, or death, or well, it is. I think actually there are ways of cheating out death rattles, but not big cost ones. I'm thinking that the lion, but anyways, yeah.
Someone,
that's the thing. Like these things are usually like really bad, or they're gonna have to be banned or something.
Someone posted something with the Zelix cloning gallery and priest, and like.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that one.
Oh, that'll do it, and then you have like your AOE that'll nuke them all and win.
That's probably scarier than Flark's Boom Zuka, frankly, because you can tutor the with shadow visions or.
Oh my god! What if you play like Big Priest with with Rivendare as the only minion? And
okay, wait. I want to coin the deck name right now. Right.
Blow
Born to Be Wild owns this name. Blow Mo Big Priest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you heard it here. We can just end the show now.
It's done. It's done.
Is that the name of the episode?
Blow Mo Big Priest. Let's go. When I blow Mo Big Priest someone, I'm gonna sip very tastefully on my Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, wow.
For my next act, I'm gonna smash this watermelon with a sledgehammer.
Okay. Well, these cards are interesting. They're flashy, but the question is like, is it a meme? This reminds me of something kind of like Boar Priest or whatever, where it's something big and flashy that you can do, but like you really have to set it up. But I think having this be neutral, someone will find a way to abuse it in Wild. Yeah, it's only a matter of time, and it's gonna get annoying probably. But like, I don't know. I think it's gonna the setup is gonna take a little bit of time. So you play Pirate Rogue and win on turn 4 before they have a chance to do the stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. 6 mana, but you gotta play them all. Here's the key to it, right? You can't. You gotta find a way to cheat them out, right? If you're paying the full mana cost and like actually having them die, during the course of the game, like a long grindy control matchup, like you're gonna lose probably.
If they silence them, you're screwed, right? Like if even one of them gets silenced,
unless you bring them back, because
it's the only way. Like if we're playing Blow Mo Big Priest, we can bring him back.
No, you know what? It doesn't matter. So check it out. It's just like the boar, right? It doesn't matter if it gets silenced because it said.
Oh, if they die.
So
it's just the last one that procs.
Yeah, the death rattle just has to trigger on one. So as long as the other ones died, it doesn't matter if they were silenced or not.
I guess the first one can't be. If the first one's silenced, you're screwed.
Right? No,
because it has to shuffle them into the deck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a death rattle. It's not a battle cry. Oh, wow. It's even worse than I thought it was. So for some reason, I thought the first one was a battle cry.
You almost have to
read the card.
You have to like kill it yourself, right?
Well, if you do a hunter, you can do the
play dead,
like play dead or one of those.
Yeah.
Or if you do it in Big Priest or somewhere where you can like keep resurrecting it, then there are ways. I kind of don't want it to be good because it's gonna be annoying, but.
Yeah. Well, so you want it to be like viable, but like tier 5 viable, but if this becomes a thing, then it becomes like another, Stealer of Souls or like, Demon Seed or, that kind of thing. It just becomes, Wild's so crazy fast right now that like, it's probably just a meme. Like, even if you could do like this cloning gallery thing, like, if you're
cloning gallery costs 9 though, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly. So even if you cheat it out, or get it in your hand, you still got to do it. And then they, then they got to die. Although you could just lash or something, but I mean, still,
Big priest is maybe the way to do it. I think that's
because you got the tools to stall. But remember too that if you're playing big priest, then one of the things that makes big priest so good is the illuminate Neptulon nonsense, and you're giving that up for this. Like, I mean, the real blow mo is the Neptulon you play on 3.
Oh gosh, that hurts. I think that you probably would still have to run Blood of Cahoon in the deck anyways to pull these out.
Yeah, and to not die.
I wonder what would happen if you somehow like soul mirrored these things and like yours attack theirs at the same time. Will you both explode?
Yeah.
I don't know. If would it does it go in order of who pops first?
I don't know.
I don't think. Nah, in Snap it does probably, but I don't think. Nah, I don't think. I think you have to. You probably get a tie. I could be wrong, but
do the death rattles proc in or like how do there must be an easy way to test this with like 2 death rattles. You play like 2 like zombie chows and kill them at the same time and see who gets the life first or something.
It's probably who. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's probably play order, but I really don't know. I really don't know. We could test it out.
Snaps rotted our brains because I know how the interaction would work there, but it's kind of fringe. Like usually you don't really care about death rattle proc order, but you know, maybe this was relevant back in the day with like leopard gnome mirrors, like in the death rattle hunter era, which was brought to you by Naxxramas, right? So
that's true. Well, the cool thing about this set, I think, is that they just revealed it. Was it yesterday, right? And it's coming out on Tuesday. I really enjoy that they're not making us wait very long for it.
I love that.
I was really unhappy the last time when they revealed stuff, and it was like, oh, this is coming out in 3 weeks, and we're not going to get any card reveals for 2 weeks. Like, so what are we going to do for the next 2 weeks? Just nothing? Okay. This is like, it's so fast turnaround that they're dumping a bunch of cards and then it's out. It's like, whoa, okay.
And I know that card reveals are like big deals for content creators, and I don't want to take that away from them because being a content creator is like hard enough gig as it is already. But I'm not gonna lie, when they tweet out, "Hey, here are cards," and they're like, "Card, card, card," and tweet. I like that. I like the instant gratification. I don't have to like go digging. It's just on my Twitter feed. It's all there, and get that instant gratification.
Well, I don't. And I agree with you. I think it's very nice. It's a nice bone to throw to a content creator, but I also don't want to watch a 5-minute video about one card that probably not going to see any play. And it's really cool that they give it to people, but like, I just want to see the card. So I'm right there with you. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know.
But Blizzard, don't let that discourage you from giving Born to Be Wild a card reveal.
Oh gosh.
I have a card reveal, but first I'm going to talk to you for 9 minutes and 59 seconds about nothing so that I can monetize. No, I'm kidding. Like, look, like I said, I know how tough it is to do content creation, and then for those who are doing it as their primary, it's their career. It's tough, and these things really help. So I never begrudge them for trying to like maximize reveal season and in doing so helping them out. But yeah, I like it when they kind of just, what I would like is give the content creator the reveal, but then take all the reveals and kind of do the release dump at the end of the day, so then everyone wins, right? But
well, they put them on what I'm told is that as soon as they're revealed, like there's a time, and then as soon as that time comes and goes, they're supposed to go into the card library on the Hearthstone website.
They do, but then I got to go to the card library. I am a very lazy man, Nate.
They don't make it very easy to search for the mini set, right? You have to go to the March of the Lich King to find these. Like, I don't see an easy way of sorting them either.
Nah, it's you just gotta
work for it.
You gotta work for it. Gotta do it.
Do not like.
Man, does that blow mo?
But all right, well, there's one more card that we're going to talk about tonight. They've revealed a handful, and today was a very, very busy day at work for me, which is fine. The time went by very quickly. But I haven't seen most of them. But This is the card that Celestion has been going on and on about. Now we know it's just a big troll, right? Right? Oh, there's one card in the mini set that was definitely a mistake to put there. Yep. Okay. So here's
Although
the
it,
mistake.
yeah,
It
in the
might
context
be.
of Wild, it may end up being just that.
So yeah, this is a new amalgam. It is a 1-mana 1/3 called Mistake. It is a minion of all types, and so
It'd be so funny if Mistake got nerfed.
right. I wouldn't. Well, one
Would it?
mana 1-mana 1/3s have gone in a lot of decks over the years. I think, particularly Priest we see, but like it's strong in like
Beast
okay,
Druid.
Pirate Rogue, you could put it in. Beast Druid, you could put it in.
Well, you already have already have a 1/3 beast that you play. I mean, you don't play this over Dire Mole because you can't like Hungry Crab it, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
I think that then, and you don't play it in Murloc Shaman, because you've already got a lot of premium 1-drops that you want to play. The only deck, and again, I'm being very unoriginal here, so there's probably an innovative use for it, but the easy like slot in is Pirate Rogue. Like if you fall into the trap of saying, here's the card, here are the existing meta decks, where does it match? It's Pirate Rogue. Pirate Rogue, is notoriously unfavored in Even Shaman. In the Even Shaman matchup, if Even Shaman draws Chisel, the joke's always like, did they draw Chisel? Oh, looks like I win. So this card is really good because it plays into Chisel really well, because all the other pirates you're playing are usually 1/1s, 2/1s. 2/2 is your best answer against this. Interestingly enough, one of your chatters kind of just already revealed a use for it that I didn't even think of. Patches for every deck. Although in fairness, we never put patches in a deck with just 2 pirates, but perhaps this is so versatile. Like maybe now you could put patches in Murloc Shaman. I didn't think of that. Or patches into Beast Druid without having to play. Actually, aggro Druid doesn't have good pirates. You run Scuff Pirates and aggro Druid.
do.
See, this is why we need Sheep back. Well, I bet you Sheep would have.
Next week.
He's probably screaming and biggin right now.
Boo! Yeah, and biggin. Yeah, that could be a much more preferable way to get out patches in aggro Druid, because in aggro Druid we value this stat line much more than a 2/1. Oh man.
Yeah.
Is aggro Druid gonna be the nuts? Or is I won't do it again. I've said it too many times. So there you go. Just like I said, you fall into the trap by saying Pirate Rogue, and I think that it could be a consideration there. But yeah, there's definitely this with patches and in lots of different contexts can be good. So kudos to Gobbledygook for just even giving me a little bit more inspiration than I had going into this. This one definitely caught my attention. And being the aggro noob of the bunch, I kind of look at these stat lines and start to think like, where might I use this? Aggro Druid. Sheep's gonna have to put something together for us, because I certainly can't build decks.
Same.
Well, Sheep is supposed to be back next week, and the mini set will have launched by then, right?
Wow. All right. Well, we'll try it then.
Very cool.
Very cool indeed. I like it.
Well, Mistake is not a mistake if it makes aggro Druid even marginally better than it is right now.
Yeah, I am a fan of the aggro metas. I think that it's healthy for the game. There are counters and like it's part of the circle of life, right?
So what I hear you saying, Nate, is that they should completely revert raid the docks on rotation. I agree.
Man, I've been saying that for months now. Yes, I would be totally okay with that.
I'm not even sure it would be. I'm not even sure it would be good at this point. So
I really hope they go all the way and not just halfway. I really hope it's the full revert.
Who knows? I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure it would even be playable. Maybe it would. Maybe with Mistake it would be. Actually, it's probably not a terrible card for Pirate Quest Warrior, because you want to run a lot of 1s, and this is a quality 1.
That's true. Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, come next week we can talk first impressions on the mini set and kind of see how that turned out. By the way, did y'all hear that Mercs is officially dead? I don't
Rip.
know.
Yes, I didn't want to bring it up because I might have some things to say about it. So
I think it blows Mo.
I will say this,
Use the
and
mic, Blue.
yeah, I'll try and be balanced and short. I had a lot of high hopes for the game mode. I thought the cards were cool. I thought the concept was neat. I thought the PvP was fun before it became completely broken and unbalanced and full of bots. I'm not surprised about this, but I am disappointed that I'm not surprised by it. Um, you know, there were those of us who invested both time and money into it, and this does unfortunately feel like a little bit of a I want to be melodramatic, but a little bit of betrayal of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially like when you sink money into the pre-orders, get the golden or the diamond cards or the whatever it is, and
Yeah, we all hopped on that, didn't we?
yeah,
Right? Like
I
getting
I
the
I
pre-order.
have
I needed that Diablo that was diamond, right? So
I have most of the diamond cards. I'm only missing a couple. I liked doing it like when I didn't want to play it. I didn't want to think like I could put on Netflix or whatever and play some mercs to kind of slowly level up or whatever. And it's just a shame that like it had so much potential. And Zombies Gonanam is a good friend of ours, and like he was like the premier mercs content creator, and it's just after a while it's like, well, the game mode's not getting any support, and like it has so much potential is the shame, I
A
think. That
lot of the people that were invested in the Mercs community, not all, but many have kind of transitioned to Marvel Snap, and we oftentimes talk about how Marvel Snap was the game that Mercs could have been. Even though mechanically they're different, there was some overlap in that you have like, a small core roster of characters that, you engage with kind of more frequently. Like it's a deck of 12, with Mercs you had a deck of 6, right? And you're able to like, customize your hero and kind of focus on certain builds. And so there's certain elements that I think kind of strike a lot of the same chords, and it's just unfortunate that it's just didn't work out. I think that it's if you ever saw that episode of The Simpsons where they try to revitalize the fortunes of Itchy and Scratchy by introducing another character, Poochie,
oh
and it
yeah,
was like designed like in a corporate boardroom, and like they all had their hands in it, and they all kind of like, no, he has to be hip, so they gave him glasses and like a flannel shirt, which was big in the 90s for those who were around, and it just became like, just like it felt like they had a good core concept, but it just didn't get the curation and the attention it needed, and then it became a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they never could quite recover from what was a pretty difficult launch. So nice graphic you got up there.
yeah, I messed it up.
That's fine. It's very apropos.
it's a
So
shame because it had I mean, there was just so much potential, and I loved the concept of like the mailbox that really should be used in Hearthstone proper. um where I think like I don't know, we make a lot of analogies to Snap, and but like in Snap, someone posted the other day, hey, when there's
There we
balance
go.
updates, uh, you know, they post what they are. Hey, when there's a refund, like they post what it is. There's like a central like mailbox that you can see all of that stuff. Oh, you collect your rewards. Oh, they're all there. Um, that Game of the Year card back is really nice. I like it. And anyways, so it's kind of a bummer.
disappointing. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
disappointing, and I don't know that I probably would have ever really played it competitively. I'm happy that I will say I'm glad that they're not leaving it as is. Like there will be end game content, but it's all like PvE, so you can like grind your mercs or whatever. Like okay, cool. I mean, I I have a whole bunch of that stuff, and I have the cosmetics, and like it'd be a shame if they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like delete the mode because this is stuff that you've collected over time, right? And it would be a bummer to like, yeah, we're just gonna like remove it from the client.
It's good they're making good on their end game content promise. I mean, we'll have to see it in action to really kind of evaluate it on its merits. It's a shame, though, that they're basically not going to do anything about the latter, which frankly was broken almost from day one.
Yeah.
So the legacy of it is mixed. I think that to be perfectly frank, if there's ever like an exciting new game mode that comes out, I'm gonna be reluctant to engage with it.
Right?
I mean,
Well, and
like,
that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna do it proper and support it. But if you launch something and then you just let it wither, like, okay,
yeah, there were many times where I'm like collecting coins, trying to, get all the cards and everything like that, all the mercenaries. And I'm like, oh, it would be so easy. I can spend my gold or money and buy packs and I'll just, get these things. And luckily I didn't, right? Like I pre-ordered, I think in the beginning I did buy packs like that first like week or so because I wanted to get like all the mercs instantly. So I sunk money in the beginning. I didn't continue to do so, but I think that's the part that bugs me the most is that this wasn't just like a free to play mode. It's something that we've spent money on, and there's probably people that spent a lot more money than I did. And
oh man, I remember seeing the tweets of like somebody that had sunk like 5 figures in to try to get like all the diamond cards, and it's like, you imagine how bad you feel now? Like, oh my gosh.
It's a cautionary tale, though. I hear or I read about almost every week some mobile game shutting down after only being in operation for like a year or something. So I mean, this is pretty common that failed enterprises kind of jump ship. It's just kind of hard to believe that. I mean, I hate to say it, but it was a failed experiment because frankly, everything within Hearthstone has been pretty successful. Although I will say that, in a lot of ways, Battlegrounds was both an incredible blessing in that it was such a success, but then such a curse because like there was such upon reflection, such a transparent attempt to kind of recapture that lightning in a bottle with duels and then with mercenaries. And
I forgot all about duels.
I was just thinking about it
well,
just
if
now because
you're
like
if you're a duels enjoyer,
beware.
you know, well, I mean, I guess you don't invest in it in the same way as Mercs. So, but I mean, still, if it's not just about money, right? It's about an emotional investment. And like,
Yeah,
are you gonna invest
yeah.
your time into, you know, being proficient at a game mode and having that sense of community if you're worried that it's gonna be, put into maintenance mode? Um, and I mean, I used to play Heroes of the Storm a lot and, went into maintenance mode and we didn't stop playing it right away, but the game stopped getting content updates. Okay. But it still got balance updates and then stopped getting balance updates.
Mm.
And it just became toxic and we stopped playing it. And, it's a shame. And, I'm sure that'll happen. It will be a different kind of drawdown experience, but, you'll see you'll see people's engagement with it if they haven't stopped already will decline. So yeah, it's tough. It's too bad. It's a shame.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't really know what else to say about it, but it's unfortunate. So, whatever.
Focus on what's good. And we can scratch that itch elsewhere and still enjoy what brought us to Hearthstone in the first place, which in my case is constructed. And that's how I choose to engage with Hearthstone from now on exclusively. I used to dabble in some battlegrounds. I don't anymore, mostly because like I used to come with the pre-order, so it was like a cool thing that I liked, and so it's like what you said, Hydra. You've reevaluated kind of how you engage with the game financially. For me, it's yes, it's financial, but it's also where I choose to budget my time.
Yeah, the recent event we had where you got Battlegrounds rewards for the special event. I didn't even bother because I tried to do all those special events on 3 accounts and I saw that it was for Battleground stuff. I was like, I am
Are
not
you
playing BG's matches on 3 accounts. No way.
do you still keep up with your 3 accounts, or you have you kind of scaled that back a little bit?
So, I have scaled it back a little bit. On EU, I'm holding a 10x on EU currently.
Nice.
But on Asia, it's dropped. I think I've got like 8 or something because I just stopped ranking up on. I've just been doing my dailies. I 3 was too much to like play the ladder on every single month, and
Oh gosh,
I think
yeah,
it was
can't even
making me
imagine.
not enjoy it, like enjoy the game because it felt forced. It's like, oh, my wife wants me to watch a TV show, and well, hold on, I got to complete my dailies, or I got to rank up, or I haven't, done this yet, and like, why do I actually need to do that? No, right? Like, so
Yeah.
because Blue, if you listened or you recall, in January I got pretty sick. It sounds similar to what Spoopy Daddy's dealing with right now, but my iPad, for some reason, Hearthstone crashes on it just randomly. And
Really?
so, yeah, I'm not sure what it
What
is.
generation is your iPad?
It's one of the iPad Airs, but I don't know. It's not the
Okay.
first or second. It's later.
Okay.
Right? Like I'm not like a super Apple person, so I couldn't tell you. My wife only bought it for me like 2 years ago.
So it's not that old then.
No, and for some reason it crashes. I tried uninstalling and reinstalling. Maybe I need to like clear cache when I uninstall, do something else, but it just in Mercs it was the worst. So when there's like a big animation when you open the Mercs like library, and it for some reason doing that, it just plopped, like it would just close the game. On ladder, it's sporadic. I don't know when it's gonna do it or why it's gonna do it. I was in a match a few weeks back and I had got to the rope on my turn, decided what I was gonna do, and then it crashed. And I'm like, oh no, come on, like open it back up. And
Oh no.
like miss your turn stuff. I'm like, okay, I can't. So I gotta look into it more, see if there's something else I can do.
So two
And
two things, like a suggestion and maybe a hypothesis. So my suggestion would be try doing a hard reset, like putting it back to factory defaults and then reinstalling it and see if it makes it any better.
yeah,
And my hypothesis is that the thing about the iPad Air over the iPad Pro is that it has less active memory, and Hearthstone's become a little bit of a memory hog. You can try setting your performance to like low, but that's less about memory and more about like how it hits the CPU, right? Like battery drain. But yeah, you might want to try that.
I feel like Hearthstone over time, like it used to work on my like iPhone 4 back in the day, right? But if like I've got that iPhone laying around here somewhere. I guarantee you, if I tried to play it on that phone right now, it wouldn't work. Like no way. I feel like over time Hearthstone just takes up more from your device. Like it takes a lot.
Every software over time does that. I mean, it's technical debt, and I mean, like I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, and it's boring. But I mean, you can yes, there's fair criticism that it's kind of bloated over time and full of bugs, but like that's every piece of software. That's why in a lot of ways, like they're like, why did they make Overwatch 2? They didn't need to. It's the same thing as Overwatch 1. That's true, but at the same time, under the hood, getting a fresh start is that's why like there's this joke about they need to make Hearthstone 2. I mean, getting a fresh start on the code base would be wonderful. I don't think it'll ever happen, given the trajectory of things, but like, things it ages, it has a life cycle, and it takes more resources, and it's really unfortunate. And The iPad Air is a fine tablet. It should run it. There's no excuse not to. I'm saying like, oh, we wouldn't have this problem on a Pro. Well, that you could play like Company of Heroes on your iPad Air without a problem. I'm sure that it should be able to run Hearthstone.
Runs fine on it. Like I got TFT on there and a bunch of other games that they run perfectly fine. So I'm not sure, but I guess
you have an iPad Pro, Nate, right?
Yeah, and
okay.
it runs fine on there, but you know what? I don't know. I don't think that Apple, they don't make their stuff to last. Like it's good for 2 or 3 years, and then it's like,
that's true.
And like,
fair criticism.
I mean, and I've had iPads. Like I keep buying them, but it's unfortunate. And between Hearthstone and Snap, like my battery drains so fast and the iPad gets really hot, and it's like, come on, it's a good iPad. It's like maybe 2 years old, maybe.
Did you set Snap to 30 FPS?
I'll have to. I didn't change any of the settings.
You put it on the lowest one. I don't notice an appreciable difference in it.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's frustrating because I feel like I shouldn't have to do that.
No,
I mean, I get it, but it's just.
Yeah. Well, so
anyways,
the point there was I realized Hearthstone runs like crap on my mobile devices. And so I was sick and I quarantined to my room because I didn't want to get my wife sick. So I basically lived in my room for like 9 days straight kind of thing. And I just couldn't play Hearthstone. And I didn't like I basically didn't play at all. And I stopped worrying about it. The first couple days, I knew after 3 days I was going to burn a quest, and I was really bummed out by that. But whatever, let it go. And after like a week went by, I was like, yeah, whatever. Also, I got ridiculously obsessed with Vampire Survivor, and I was playing that on my Steam Deck. So I got really distracted. So that was fine. And since then, so it took a week and a couple days off of playing. Since I got back, I dropped Asia and I just did NA and EU. And even EU, I'm letting some of the quests, like this mini set's gonna come out and I'm supposed to have 2,000 gold. Well, guess what? I spent that 2,000 gold on getting the Death Knight mini set, because you had to get those extra cards. So I don't have another 2,000 gold to get this mini set, which is unfortunate. I don't know if that's something we've talked about already, but that 2,000 gold that free-to-play players earn usually goes towards the mini set, but now we had to spend it to get all of the Death Knight cards. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to earn that gold eventually. I think I have like 1,000 on each EU and in Asia, so I won't be able to get the mini set right away on those accounts. And I will get it eventually, but I'm not grinding to make sure that I do. I think that me getting sick and taking a little bit of time off from the game was honestly super healthy, because
it's good to take breaks, and I think that it's healthy. You kind of reevaluate, and I don't know. I mean, I just play on NA, and I'm kind of in maintenance mode, I think, if you will. Like I'm doing my daily quests, and I'll hit legend at some point. Like I let my 11x go because real life got in the way, and that's been fine. But trying to keep it up on 3 servers, I cannot even imagine. Like there's no way. That's a lot.
And it's been, so when I started the EU one, it's been a long time because I have like Cthulhu and all those cards. So I started that back when Cthulhu came out, the EU one, like first Cthulhu, Old Gods, I guess. Yeah. So I've been doing that one for a very, very long time. And Asia came maybe a year or two after that. And so it's honestly been like probably had Asia for at least 4 years at this point. Right.
Wow.
So it takes up a lot of time. Like, to be honest, I breeze through some of those dailies though. Like it's play 3 of like this class, and then you got to play this many Death Rattle minions. Okay, so I have to play 3 Druid games, and I have to play 12 Death Rattle minions, and then something else, right? So say I got 3 dailies, I'll save up till I have 3, and then I build a deck that accomplishes all 3 of those things. And I'll just hop into casual, and it's only Death Rattle cards, and like say it's Mana Thirst, play Mana Thirst, Death Rattle, Mana Thirst, Druid. Play 3 games in either. By the way, on Asia, good luck getting a casual game. It's like impossible, and if you do, you will play against the same person over and over again. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Nobody in Asia likes casual, so I usually do it in standard, and you're done. Then I don't need to do it for 3 more days. So that's honestly not that bad. But yeah, to answer your question, no, I'm not doing that right now.
Well,
Fair enough. I have an EU account. I got it going because I wanted an alternative account to play when I was streaming. Turns out I'm not really built for streaming. I do it on occasion, but I wouldn't watch me.
I watch you.
I know you're a good friend, Hydra, because that's the only reason why anyone would. I just don't have the right temperament for it. That's fine. I mean, I'll do it on occasion just for the heck of it. But you know, I'm pretty much an NA only player. I have the account. It's nice. I have some resources on there, so it's nice when I want to muck around on ranked ladder without the pressure. But largely, it's kind of been collecting dust, figuratively, not in the in-game literal sense, because you need to play the game to collect dust. Ha ha!
Whoa, mind blown.
All right, friends. Well, I think we're starting to wane a little bit. So I love talking to you, but let's wrap up the show. And if y'all want to continue talking, by all means we can do it.
Sounds good.
Anyone have any unrelated advice that they either want to ask or want to give? Since I don't have any I think I gave files all queued up.
Yeah, I think I gave my unrelated advice at the beginning of the show about just, you know, being mindful about what you're trying to accomplish and get out of a game, and your rank isn't a reflection on your worth as a person or your skill or anything at all.
Not with that attitude. Sorry.
What I'm hearing is time to boot up my Hearthstone and rub my like 3-month dormant account. 11x.
That is how we need to end the show. Yes.
All right.
Unrelated advice: can you not play for 3 months and hold 11x?
We'll find out. So I'm launching BattleNet right now. Do you want me to share my screen in Discord and you can throw it up on the pod?
I can try.
So
I've not done that.
So share my screen. I think you can pop it out as a window, or
you can. You can do like a
I could just send you the screenshot if you prefer.
Yeah, just send me the screenshot.
Hang on, I gotta update Hearthstone. In a minute.
This is the part where we say we gotta edit it and post and then not do it.
Update initializing.
Oh yeah.
0%. I've got fiber, guys. It'll take a second. Oh look, Tom Carter's building a duels deck. See, people still enjoy duels.
Yeah, I really like I would watch 6J play duels sometimes, and it was just incredible, like mind blowing to watch. Like, wow, that's the most degenerate thing. Oh, that's such a crazy combo. Like, it was a little bit too big brain for me, and I didn't have the time to put into it. And I played a few and was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but it's got this whole separate meta of its own that was really
5 gigs.
Well, yeah, I noticed that. It's insane.
Sorry, I'm downloading it at like 30 megs a second, but like still, like, come on, man.
While you're downloading
internet flex,
Guy Grumpy in chat is asking, is the gold cost for the golden mini set worth it, or is the non-gold version the better value?
Well, you're talking to Born to Be Whale here, so like, if like I want the gold cards for sure. So now, do I have 10,000 gold? No, I have like 5,000. So
well, Guy Grumpy has like millions of dust and gold, right?
If I had the gold to spare, so you're gonna use it either now or use it later, right? So we'll have a new set in a couple of months or whatever, and if you could save the gold and buy new cards with it, or you can spend the gold now on the golden set. Like if I could spend the gold, or I could spend $70 cash, like I'd rather spend the gold. But this for me is another one of those kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But I prefer to get the golden cards. Now I think if I'm like average Joe player, like I'd save up 2,000 gold to get the whole thing. I think that's a really good deal, and it's not that hard, especially at this point. Like if you're playing your daily quests, like I completed the rewards track a while back, and now like you do your dailies and you're getting 150 gold every time you gain a new level. Like you can get 1,000, 2,000 pretty fast, relatively. So I think if for the average player, like you're free to play player, I would do the gold and just get the regular version, if that was the question.
Hey, good news, guys. These cards have changed. Meat Grinder, Obliterate.
Oh man.
Oh man, Priestess Valsh isn't 0 anymore? I'm just kidding. It's been a while since I launched it.
Oh my goodness. Man, you should have waited a little bit longer. It would have given you like a bunch of free packs.
Forgot some rewards. I know I should have, but I don't think I'm gonna wait that long anyways. So, oh cool, I got Lightkeeper Zyrella. Go. Druid Bundle, Dream Grove Lunara. See in shop.
Oh man, the like celestial looking ones are so cool, and they only have 4 of them right now. It's Hunter, Shaman, Priest, and one other one I don't remember. And I am gonna be so upset if they don't. I hate when they do, like they make these cool theme skins, and they're not for every class. It's for like half the classes. Oh, welcome to the club, buddy.
Okay. Oh yeah. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you see this. I'm gonna add the image in a second here.
9x.
Here we go. Yeah.
9x and standard. 9x and standard.
How long has it been since you played?
So the last time I played Hearthstone was when I hit Legend in November. I think it was November 5th or November 6th. You can see it on my Twitter.
So December and January and then so far of February you've taken
It's
off.
been about 3 months.
Okay.
So for everyone that can't see, Wild Blutrane got the big old 10x.
Oh man,
that was great. That was so good.
Oh god. Wiser words have never been spoken.
And you heard that on Born to Be Wild.
That was good.
Born to be wild.